Yeah, there, it's going again. Don't know why it shut off. So, whatever. I'm not gonna start over. iPad struggles continue. Let's see. Can't remember what I was talking about. Quadratics look like this. They have x squared and x. Leading coefficient means the front number out in front of the x squared is 1. So that's just these ones like that. So it'd be x squared plus 4x minus 12. If you put a 2 out there or a 3 out there, it changes. We'll do those in about 5 minutes. But right now, it's just when it's 1x squared. To start this, I always remind you how to multiply. So thinking back to multiplication, we did this. Remember when we were like, multiply x plus 5 times x minus 2. And hopefully you know how to multiply those. You had a test on it, which we won't talk about that right now. So if you were going to multiply those together, what do you multiply first?
Squared.
Yeah, x times x gives you x squared. And then you go x times negative 2 is negative 2x. And then you're done with that one, so you come over here and you're like 5 times x is plus 5x. And 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Then you combine your like terms, so you got x squared plus 3x minus 10. Right? That's how you multiply those. We've done that. Well, now factoring, we're just going to go backwards. We're going to start with this. We're going to go backwards to figure out what the two things are that I would multiply together to get that R. So, looking at that one. You know your answer when you're factoring these is always going to have two sets of parentheses like this. Right here, in each parenthesis, you have to figure out what multiplies to give you x squared. Well, when it's just 1x squared, it'll always just be x times x. X times x is x squared, right? That's like the first step when you multiply. Then after that, you usually when you're multiplying, you do x times this number, and then this number times x, and then you add those up, right? And that gives you the middle. We're not going to think about that one though. Always think about the back first. The back comes from this last step where you just multiply. This one times this one, I should get negative 12. So the easy way to do these ones is all you do, think of numbers that multiply to 12. What could the possibilities be? What multiplies to 12?
2, 3, 6.
2 and 6, 3 and 4, or 1 and 12. Those are the options, right? That's what multiplies to give you 12. But now you have to, on this one it's easy. It's just multiply to 12. What adds up to 4? Can I make any of these add up to 4? 2 and 6, right? How? How do you make that add up to 4?
They're both negative.
No, if they're both negative, that'd be negative 2 minus 6, that'd be negative 8. Right? One of them negative. What if it's a negative 2 and positive 6? Doesn't that add up to 4?
Oh, yeah.
So I can do that. Negative 2, positive 6. You could put positive 6 on this one, negative 2 on this one. That doesn't matter what order, as long as the sign is right. Now look, if I multiply it out, I get that. X times x is x squared. Then I'd have in the middle plus 6x. And right here it'd be minus 2x minus 12. If I combine those, I get 4x. I get negative 12 at the end. There it is. In fact. So whenever you see these, where it's like x squared plus something x plus something, they are the pretty easy ones to factor. Just think about multiplying to this, adding to the middle. What multiplies to 16? 1 and 16. I just go through 1, 2, and 8, 3, no, 4 and 4, that's it. Can I make any of those add up to 8? 4 and 4, right? Both positive?
Yeah.
There it is. X plus 4, x plus 4. If you're not sure, you have to ask me, Hopkins, is this right? Grab a calculator. How's a calculator? How could you check your answer? Multiply it together. Yeah. If you're not sure if you're factored right, multiply it together. You better get that when you multiply it together, right? You can check every one of your answers here. there's nothing else to it really. Sometimes they're a little tricky, like if you have x squared minus 33x plus 32. I mean, that might be slightly tricky. Throw your parentheses down, go x and x. Always think about the multiplication first. What multiplies to 32? 1 and 32, 2 and 16. You can stop if you see the answer already. 3 goes into 32? No. 4 and 8. 5, no. 6, no. 7, no. 8 and 4, done. Do any of those add up to negative 33? Yeah, I can make that if they're both negative, right? Negative 1, negative 32. Boom, got it. That's it. Be careful though. Occasionally you'll run into something like this. X squared. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's go. Well, this one's just similar to the first one. You think about multiplying, you're like, oh, 1 and 12, oh, 2 and 6, oh, 3 and 4. Can I make any of those add up to 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
6 and 2.
6 and 2 plus 6 minus 2?
Yeah.
Does that work? Why doesn't that work? You're shaking your head.
4x.
6 minus 2 is 4. Yeah.
That's 4x.
Well, x squared minus 2x, if you multiply it, plus 6x, that gives you 4x in the middle. So is it right? What's the last step? Multiplying 6 times negative 2. It's negative 12. Uh-oh. Doesn't work, does it? And there's nothing I could do differently. I can't do 4 and 3, that won't add up to 4. I can't do 1 and 12, that won't add up to 4. Guess what? It's not factorable. There's nothing you can do that break it up like this to make it give you that. I mean, later, optimistically I would say next week, realistically I would say after break, we'll figure out what to do when it's not factorable and how you can continue, but that's down the road. Okay, so that's that kind of factoring. One more today. Hey, it's still going. Since you were already supposed to have done this, this is where I kick it up a little notch here. We're going to factor some quadratics. With factoring quadratics with the leading coefficient of 2 or higher. The game changes a little bit here. So this is something like 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. And we're going to factor that. And it's similar to the other one, it's just a little harder. It no longer works to just say what multiplies to 15 and adds to 13. Because if you do that, you'll quickly find, hey, 15 is just 1 times 15, or 3 times 5. Can I make any of those add up to 13? Nope. So you're like, oh, it's not factorable. Wrong, it is. Let's go back to multiplication again. Over here, just a little. Let's say we have 3x plus 1 or 2 times x minus 4, something like that. When we multiply this out, multiply the front two, 3x times x gives you 3x squared. Okay, that still gives you the front one. No big deal, nothing's changed there. The very last step is just 2 times negative 4. That gives you the back number. Nothing has changed there. The difference is in the middle. You have to do 3x times negative 4, which is negative 12x, plus 2 times x, so plus 2x. So in the middle, these numbers, negative 4 times 2, still multiply to the back, but they don't add up to the middle anymore, do they? It's because this one gets multiplied by 3 when you multiply it out. So when you're working on these, you still put down your 2 sets of parentheses. Think about first what multiplies to 2x squared. 2x times x. There's only one option there, right? That's easy. You will get some where that's like a 6 or a 4, where there's different options. We'll probably wait till tomorrow for that. But right now, just 2x and x. 2x times x is 2x squared. We've already thought about what multiplies to 15. Now I'm going to switch to pencil, because this is where some guess and check happens. And I try to fill these in, and then I'll check to see how to get the middle. So right now we're just going to guess. You think it's 1 and 15 or 3 and 5?
3 and 5.
3 and 5? I think you're going to be right, actually. You get it right on the first try. Don't put your signs in yet. Multiply it out. 2x times x is 2x squared, right? We're good there. I don't even usually write that down, but we will. 2x squared. Then, what do you multiply next? 2x times 5. Yes, thank you. 2x times 5. Good job. And that is 10x. What do you multiply next? 3 times x. Oh, good job, Jessica. Thank you. So you go 3 times x, that's 3x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. Will this work for this?
Yeah.
It will, won't it? What do the signs need to be for these?
Positive.
If they're both positive, don't I get 13 in the middle?
Yeah.
So guess what? Make those both positive, and it's factored. It's 2x plus 3, x plus 5. You have to do that little check to make sure it's going to work out in the middle. Let me show you one where you're probably not going to guess it on the first try. Yeah? I'll make sure you don't. So let's go 2x squared minus 15x minus 8. Same first step. Boom, parentheses. Hey, what multiplies to 2x squared? 2x and x. Over here, what multiplies to 8?
2,
2 and 4, 1 and 8. That's it, right? So it's going to be one of those. Would you like to make a guess? It's going to be 1 and 8. What do you guys think? Or do you want to guess? Let's say he said 2 and 4, because you're actually right. I just want to show you what happens when you're wrong. So you guess something. You're like, oh, I think it's going to be 2 and 4. Then you multiply it out. Don't do signs yet. Signs last. 2x times x, 2x squared. Yes. Then you got to go 2x times 4 is 8x. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 4 is 8, of course. Will this work? Can I make negative 15 out of these? Nope. So on these, order matters. So if you switch the 2 and the 4, you'll get something different. However, for the sake of time, I'm just going to go with your original guess, which was 1 and 8. What happens? 2x times 8, 16x. 1 times x is 1x. Can I make negative 15 out of 16 and 1?
Yeah.
What do the signs need to be? There's going to be one of each. Which one needs to be negative? 16 or 1?
It's in
It
between.
does matter, because I need negative 15.
It's 1. Minus 16x minus 1.
Yeah, negative 16 plus 1 is negative 15. If you did negative 1 plus 16, you'd have positive 15. We want negative 15. Okay, so my 16 needs to be negative. So up here then, which one needs to be negative? This one? Wouldn't that be negative 1 times x will give you negative 1x? So this seems to be negative, because 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Positive 1 times x is plus 1x. Then check the end. 1 times negative 8 is negative 8. Hey, if I combine those, I get negative 15. There it is. So a little bit more work, huh? It's just a little guessing, checking, multiplying. It's still the same idea. Want one more? You ready to try it? Huh? Speak up. You ready? One more? Okay, we'll make one up here. How about, let's go. Ooh, that's a good one. Pick on people. You know the first step, Kathy? No? You know the first step, Roy?
Parentheses.
Yeah, throw down your parentheses. Because you know it's going to look like that.
3x and then x.
3x and x, that multiplies to 3x squared, yes. Then what?
Goes in a 20.
Just figure out the factors of 20. What are they?
1 and
1 times 20,
2 times
2 times 10, 3, no.
4,
4 times 5, 5 we've already got, so we're done. So it's one of those. Then what? Just pick one, fill it in, and see if it works. When you get good at this, if you get good at this, you can kind of do it in your head and do it quickly. Some of you will never reach that level, and you will literally just guess and try and guess and try and guess and try. And that's okay, as long as you can eventually get it, hopefully within like a minute.
I think it's going to be 1 and 20.
You think it's going to be 1 and 20?
Yeah.
Like 1 here, 20 here?
Yeah.
3x times x, 3x squared. 3x times 20 is 60x. 1 times x is 1x. 1 times 20 is... Can I get negative 19 out of 60 and 1?
No.
No. That ain't gonna work. So,
2 and 10.
try again. Check this out. If you switch them, you get something different in the middle. I'm not saying it's gonna work on this one, but if you go 20 and 1, 3x times 1 is 3x. 20 times x is 20x. Hey, we're closer, right? 20 minus 3 would be 17. That's a 19, but still, no.
Let's go 4 and 5.
So we can cross that one off the list. It ain't 1 and 20. You want to go 4 and 5 next?
Yeah.
4, 5, or 5, 4?
5, 4.
5, 4. 3x times 4 is 12x. 5 times x is 5x. Will that give me 19?
No.
Nope. Now what?
2 and 10.
20.
2 and 10. 3 times 10 is 30x. 2 times x is 2x.
No.
Will that give me
Yeah,
19?
flip
No.
Flip it.
I wouldn't like move to the next one until you flip it, because then otherwise you're gonna get lost and you can't remember what you tried yet and what you haven't tried yet. Back here where we did 5 and 4, you should have switched it and just done 4. You did 5 and 4 already. See, I already forgot too. So do 4 and 5. 3x times 5 is 15x. 4 times x is 4x. Woo! Look at that. I think those can make negative 19, right?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
You add
Make them both negative.
Both negative. Negative 15 and negative 4 is negative 19. So both of these got to be negative. And negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. Boom, it works. So on Thursday when we did this the first time, you were supposed to have done that big factoring worksheet thing. And do number 1 through 19, left side only. that's your first spot on your homework sheet, which most of you are probably going to have a 0 for. But hey, if you do it tonight, I'll give you a 6 tomorrow. And then, adding to that, today, if you haven't done those yet, try them out. That was from 12:7, and then today is 12:11. We're going to add F1. Let's do a little bit of review, so let's go like, let's go 3 and 6. Those are greatest common factor. And then let's go like 11 and 14. Those are the easy ones where the leading coefficient's 1. And then we'll add 20, 21, and 23. So I guess I could have wrote 20 through 23, but I didn't know what I was doing. So what's that? 8. So those two, I'll even tell you, those two are greatest common factor. Those two have the leading coefficient of 1, so it's just add to the multiply to the back, add to the middle. That's those two. These 4 are this stuff, the new stuff, where you have to like really guess and check it. Okay, so you're gonna have to pause this so you can write down these problems. Okay, there's the worksheet, and there's like 1 through 24 there. But, so if you pause this, you can write those down and try them. Okay, bye.